to Starting Up, home to the startup community on Indian television. The sun is shining bright, just as brightly as it's been shining on the Indian startup community. Let's take a look then at what's lined up over the next half hour. On the show today, a startup that echoes the voice of the youth. It's the Views paper on Showcase. On Mentor Mantra, Hari helps Ramesh with his fundraising and B2B growth strategy. He's also lined up a surprise competitive test. And finally, a startup that's set to disrupt the outdoor broadcast industry. It's Event Live on Elevator Pitch. Now, 50% of the Indian population is below the age of 25, and that's probably why we're one of the youngest countries in the world. And yet, we have no one platform that really echoes the voice of the youth. Now, Delhi-based entrepreneur Shiv Bhaskar Dravid hopes to change all of that and really fill that gap with his media platform and website, the Views paper.
I want to make voting mandatory, and I think there should be an upper age limit for all our MPs.
Religion plays a very important role in affecting the lives of a mass. So according to me, there should be only one religion around the globe, and that should be science.
The masses just know about two options: becoming a doctor or an engineer. The mass should be made aware about the non-conventional courses also.
This is today's youth who aspire to bring change in the world just by their views. Tapping this desire, Shiv Bhaskar Dravid started Views paper to provide a platform for youth to put forward their thoughts. After a stint at freelancing and donning the role of a consultant, Shiv went back to college, got together with some friends and decided to set up the Views paper. With the URL www.theviewspaper.net in 2007. The objective was simple.
When I started writing articles, the first place where the platform was the newspapers, the magazines, and I wrote over there. But the problem was they never accepted the articles. And what I figured out over there was the fact that the big columnists, the editors, the mavens of the industries are something people look out for. And that's why I thought, a person doing graduation at that point in time wouldn't be given a chance. That's when I met Shiv and I got to know the whole idea about the Views paper and it being the voice of the youth.
The problem that I saw was that as a citizen, it's not easy for you to go ahead and have a platform to express yourself. No one really thought that an 18-year-old could talk sense. And that's the problem that I faced. So as a citizen, it was anyways very difficult to get your view published. And if you were a citizen who was young, it was even more difficult. And therefore, I decided that we need a platform, where there is the voice of the youth can actually be on a national level scale. And therefore, the Views paper was created.
Targeted as a platform where the youth can write and opine freely, Views paper already boasts of 3,000 writers on board. Even though their aim was right, the journey did have a few roadblocks.
I think the challenges were related to resources, the fact that we did not have money to go ahead and hire people, and we had to pretty much learn everything in-house and do that. And that took a lot of effort to go ahead and inculcate that knowledge internally, because I was 21, everybody else was younger, and so we were a very, very young outfit.
That's when a team of youngsters got together and started the Views paper. Through ad networks and direct ad sales, they generated enough revenues to keep the business profitable. But Views paper is not just a platform where youngsters can just log on and write on any subject. Shiv's dream also helps people fight social issues.
There was a girl who was in Jaipur. She was studying in a private college. The private colleges got de-recognized and her college shut shop. And she had offers. She was in her 4th year of college. She had offers from 2 companies and they took back the offer. She was not getting admission in the Rajasthan University. So she wrote an article for us. That article kind of went viral. And then we went ahead and did poster campaigns and a lot of effort we put behind that to support this girl. And then we contacted the local media. The local media did some stories around it. And then the companies revalidated her offers.
An extremely motivated set of journalists meant that many of them worked for free, something which has no doubt helped the Views paper cut costs.
Unlike popular newspapers, where most of these issues are covered by people who are not young themselves, it was giving a platform to young people to actually come out and give their opinions about various national level and youth related issues. So it was a perfect platform for young people to express themselves, write about things that they're passionate about and bring about some change.
Newspaper gave me a platform to express myself, and my views mattered. I mean, everyone started reading what I was writing, so it was a great encouragement for me to continue writing.
And although the online media sector itself has seen some tough times, newspapers' revenues have remained consistent. They notched up revenues of 7 lakh rupees since inception and plan to double it next year. Surely the voice of the youth is clearly their pride and joy.
And what's more, the newspaper actually has plans to launch 5 more journals where youngsters can pen down their thoughts. Okay, we'll take a breather on the show, but up next, we catch up with mentor P. Hariharan, who has a surprise test in store for his mentee. You've joined us on Starting Up, and time now for our series called Mentor Mantra, where essentially a mentor works with an entrepreneur over a period of 6 months and really guides him through all his tough decisions. This week, we're paying V. Ramesh of Eco Move Solutions a visit. Now, last month, Ramesh's homework was to fine-tune his pitch and operationalize his B2B strategies. Well, that's not all. This week, as you'll find out, he's in for a surprise test as well. Let's take a look.
Last month on Mentor Mantra, Ramesh made a pitch to investor Sandeep Murthy and got some valuable feedback. His homework for last month was twofold: fine-tune the pitch and make it investor ready, and operationalize his business in the Rabale industrial estate. How far has he progressed? Hari got an early start to the day and caught up with Ramesh during his morning jog.
Morning, Ramesh.
Hi, morning, Hari.
So, a test of a true Indian. Watching cricket in any form, color, shape.
Absolutely. That's what I do. Morning, I have a jog here and I keep watching these guys. You get some quality cricket also, and that's why I called you here. You're also true Indian, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Any other game you play?
I play badminton generally maybe twice a week or so.
You know, still now you're playing?
Yeah.
I think why not we play a game of badminton?
Oh, that's very good.
Challenge us.
Oh yes, oh yes.
Let me see your competitive spirit.
Sure, sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
Time to head to the badminton court and show off that competitive streak. Will the mentee outplay the mentor? May the best man win.
Well, Ramesh, you have shown your competitive spirit. Good show.
Ramesh certainly proved himself on the court, but will he prove himself with his business as well?
It's a good game. It's a long time playing shuttle. It's really interesting. And you showed your competitive spirit as well. Let us get back to business.
Yeah.
Last time you had 2 pieces of homework. One was that modifying your pitch for venture capital, as Sandeep suggested you.
Yeah.
And second was getting into micro-level planning of your Rabale initiative.
Yeah.
So how far you come in that?
On the pitch, I made ready the presentation and also the complete business plan. And there are certain assumptions that we have done there. And based on that, of course, we can look at that and then we can finalize it.
Okay. A few key points as far as assumption is concerned.
Yes.
Sandeep talked about getting from a macro level and then going towards your business.
Yeah.
Which is perfectly logical.
Yeah.
But since you're talking about immediately about Rabale coming up, your assumption should be as close to reality as possible.
True.
You have to apply Occam's razor. Don't make assumptions beyond what is warranted.
Yeah.
So typically the kind of assumptions you have to make is in terms of what kind of relationship you're going to have in terms of, for one cycle, how many people are going to be using it.
Ratio.
Yeah. And how many minutes you expect them to use.
Yeah.
What is the area of the shed which you require.
Yeah.
You need to get into as micro as possible.
Occam's razor is a principle formulated by 14th century English logician William of Occam. The principle essentially recommends the use of the truest and most natural assumptions while answering a question. The questions Ramesh will be answering relate to the metrics of his business, the ratio of the number of cycles to users, the minutes of usage, and the area of the sheds. Compiling these assumptions make up Ramesh's first piece of homework for the month.
How about the other one, Rabale?
With regard to Rabale, we had discussed quite a lot, and then I have actually fixed up a meeting for today. And it will be nice for you to come there and
Definitely,
we can have
why
a discussion.
not?
We are meeting a senior guy there, so let's change ourselves, become formal again, and then go for the meeting.
More presentable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
A meeting with Mr. R. Seshan of the Rabale Industrial Estate. Will Ramesh's project get finalized?
This is Mr. Hariharan. He's a mentor. He is helping me in my business. Last time we met, and we genuinely felt that there's a need in Rabale to have this kind of a program. Last time I also met a few people there around, and everybody has shown a kind of a comfort in terms of they need this kind of a facility there. How do we proceed from here?
We'll take it forward in two ways. One way is that if you can give me some basic write-up about the kind of services which you are going to provide. Let's say we can shoot out an email to all of our members. So that is about 1600 members will be getting that email. We can at least start out with 2 depots. And for that, what I can do for you is put you in touch with a couple of our people there in Rabale who should be able to take that thing forward, to be able to provide you a depot, things like that.
Now, with regard to the pricing that we wanted to play, last time I mentioned to you, we have priced for a yearly plan about 8 paise a minute, and it goes up to about 15 paise a minute in different plans. You think it's a strategic pricing with regard to their current options or the spending that they make?
As a matter of practical fact, there is no options these people are having. They are walking it out because an auto rickshaw would be priced as high as 25 to 50 rupees to go inside, and there is no other alternative. There is no bus service inside. The price which you have been talking about is fairly reasonable and should not in any way pose any kind of restriction in the use of this service.
Hang on. See, if you look at the kind of this kind of a market, it is not like people who are residing in this place are taking the cycle. The people who are taking the cycle are primarily coming for going to a company.
True.
Therefore, the security aspect of your cycle is not under threat, I believe. In that sense, maybe you can think of whether you should have a security deposit.
Yeah, I think
Mr. Seshan on this one.
I agree with him.
My only thought was there could be a lot of temporary workers working in these companies, and many of these guys could be taking this as a utility for them to travel. That's only a thought. I mean, it has to be case to case basis. That's what I guess. Okay, Mr. Seshan. Now, these depots that we are talking about, do you think there will be any cost associated with that, or is it possible that it can be free of cost as well? Because the places that we will be keeping for the particular companies, it will also be a service to them for their employees as well. So, is there a possibility of getting it free?
We'll need about 100 square feet.
100 odd square feet.
100 odd square feet for a depot. I think in companies where there is marginal space available, it should not be a problem. The cost, if any, will be negligible. And in all probability, if we intervene, that is also likely to be waived off. So you can rest assured on that.
So Ramesh, you have a good model on hand, right? I don't think there can be a better place than this in the whole of India for marketing this or starting this up. It's the right time, and it's the right time for you to strike it fast and pedal it fast.
True.
So we need to have some kind of timelines to see as to when Ramesh is going to have his first 2 depots in Thane Belapur belt.
I fully agree with him.
Okay, Ramesh, your homework is now to start operationalizing it and set a timeline and start at least with 2 depots within a month's time. All the best.
Thank you very much.
The target for Ramesh is clear. Set up at least 2 cycle depots in the Rabale Industrial Estate. This makes up his homework for next month.
Time for us here to take a breather on starting up. Up next, Event Live is all set to disrupt the outdoor broadcasting industry on elevator pitch. You've joined us on Starting Up. Now, when we bring breaking news to you, usually it's broadcast through either an OB, that's an outdoor broadcast van, or a video satellite phone. Both have their advantages and drawbacks. Well, Karun Kishore and Prateek Bhatt have innovated with a new technology that's apparently all set to disrupt the outdoor broadcast space. Well, it's Event Live, live on our elevator pitch.
Live broadcasting, one of the most exciting innovations in recent times, but not without its own problems and limitations. In situations like floods, riots and disasters, there are problems like lack of accessibility, high manpower costs and high operating costs, which makes live transmission as it is today cumbersome and complicated. After seeing the problems of live broadcasting, me and my partner Prateek came up with the idea of the technology called Event Live, a low-cost revolution in live broadcasting. Event Live is a compact transmission technology weighing less than just 5 kilos, and it works on 7 high-speed data cards. So just one cameraman can carry it in a backpack, attach it to a camera, and boom, we go live. This technology is compatible with all the broadband technologies available like 3G, CDMA and GSM. The technology is a one-time investment which is less than 10% of the current broadcasting solutions. Besides, the operating costs are also as low as 8,000 rupees a month. The product is a perfect fit for surveillance industry. That is why we feel defense, police and other organizations has a very big market for the product and as well as the technology. Due to its low cost and convenience, mass installations help in situations like fires and disasters to as simple as neighborhood surveillance. We feel that the business is pegged at around 10,000 crores, out of which we are targeting just 1%, that is 100 crores at the end of the third year. Our business model is very simple. That is the sale of Event Live equipment. At a gross margin of around 80%, we would like to make a pitch for an investment of around 10 crores, for which we are ready for profit sharing as well as equity sharing model. We plan to utilize this investment towards setting up of the manufacturing facility, manpower and marketing program.
So that's a pitch of 10 crore rupees for a 10% equity stake in the company. Well, we showed it to Harshal Shah. Let's see what Harshal makes of it.
Harshal Shah is the CEO of Reliance Venture Asset Management. An MBA graduate from the Wharton Business School, Harshal is a technology veteran with experience in companies like Accenture and IBM. His vision, however, extends across sectors, with a venture portfolio across sectors like high-tech software and logistics. We showed him the pitch, he took out some time, took his notes, and here's what he had to say.
Yeah, I think that they have a good company. What I really admire about these guys is their chutzpah and the fact that they are addressing a huge need that exists in this industry right now. I also find that they have taken an intellectual property type of an approach towards creating this company, which I think also stands it in pretty good stead. The thing that really, that they really need to focus on and get a better grip on is, how does this actually stack in as a competition in terms of competition, and what are the other competitors that they have in the marketplace? From what I understand of their business, there are several other solution providers which are also out there, including LiveView, Digero, Streambox, etc. And how would they end up creating a proposition for themselves in such a marketplace? Why is it that they are thinking about getting into the manufacturing business? Manufacturing business in itself is a high capex type of a model, and which makes me question whether they actually have that business model thought through pretty well or not. See, I think the outdoor broadcast market in itself at this point in time, I see the number of broadcast vehicles that are outside, either the High Court or the Supreme Court, or even outside, the Arthur Road Jail, sometimes outside the BCCI office. And I keep wondering, is it really necessary for them to, have such expensive vehicles and so much of staff and equipment and so on? And I think that if these people have a solution, which is addressing that, then that in itself is a target market for them. So the number that I've come to understand from their perspective is that they are looking for a 10% stake that they would like to give out to the investors for a 100 crore rupee valuation based upon 100 crore projection that they would have for year 3. But stepping 2 steps backwards, the way I heard it in their broadcast is that they are talking about going ahead and basing that based upon a market that is a 10,000 crore rupee market, and they want to go ahead and take 1% of that. To me, that in itself will end up giving the company a valuation of 0 as far as I'm concerned. That is no way to go ahead and end up coming up with a business plan or a financial projection. The projection is based upon a sales pipeline, and a verifiable and a strong one at that. I would not invest right away at this stage. I'm happy to engage across with any entrepreneur who has a chutzpah and is desirous of going ahead and addressing a need in a big way, which this team obviously seems to be wanting to do. Just make sure you don't fall in love with your product to such an extent that you become blind to the fact that venture capitalists invest in a business and not into just a technology or a product.
So that's what Harshal made of Event Live. But what did you think? Well, write us an email on startingup@etnow.tv. In fact, if you would like your startup to be featured on the show, well, do remember to send us a brief. You could also SMS us on 58888. All you need to do is type SU, leave a space, followed by your message. We'd love to hear from you. With that, we wrap it up here on the episode this week. But before we go, as we say every week, remember, there's never a better time than now to go out there and start up.